Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another. I don't even know how many weeks in a row we've been going now.
Yeah,
Um,
it's grand.
it is. It really is. But we're back, and it's a 2-for-1. We are quickly approaching the live action. And we're going to be finishing up the animated and going into that one, which heaven help our soul based on what I've seen in the news this week.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it's being taken out of context, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, maybe they saw that everyone was like, oh, this is actually looking good. And they're like, oh, gosh, we have to lower expectations, guys. And then it went, whew, it's like violent shifts.
Yeah, so
We'll see.
should be interesting.
It has helped me cap my expectations. So,
Hey, there we go. I think that's what we all need.
yeah. Oh, I see we already have Rapunzel in the chat saying, what's up? Question, do you use OBS for your live streams or only StreamYard? Only StreamYard because it's easier and I don't know if my computer would handle OBS.
OBS is actually pretty stable, so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look into that because we have a lot of screen grabs to go through with 2 episodes, and these are some of the more beloved episodes that I've seen in the fandom, and so it has a lot of screen grabs of decent quality. Yay for us! So it'll be a fun one, and as always, chat in the live chat if you would like. We're gonna have some fun, and hopefully not go past too long of a time because we're both very tired.
Yes.
Hooray!
Oh man, I woke my computer up for this stream, and it's giving me all of the notifications of, hey, you need to do this, and hey, you need to do that, and I'm like, no.
It's Avatar time.
Yeah.
News. Oh, fun. Well, hopefully both of our computers survive, and it'll be great. Speaking of which, to get things started, we have the episode recaps, which we are coming on the home stretch here. So, Brandi, you might have an undefeated season.
We'll see.
There you go. Well, I figure we'll start with the Southern Raiders and the lovely Paramount Plus description for it. Last week was a bit of a letdown for them. They'd been doing well, and it's just kind of pulled back a little bit. So we'll see how this one goes. The Southern Raiders say, Katara sets out to confront the Fire Nation soldier who killed her mother, but what will she do when she finds him? Dun, dun, dun. Actually, pretty good.
I don't know. I think the last bit is where it loses me a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't like the dun, dun, dun?
Oh, no. I figured that was just you flourishing.
Oh, that was just me.
Yeah. That was a flourish. All right. So this is what I have. Katara's understanding of justice and revenge is clouded when Zuko helps her track down the man that killed her mother.
Oh, short, sweet, to the point. Oh, I like that.
Yep.
And clouding her vision. Clouding her judgment is exactly what happens. Like, that is very good descriptor, because it's kind of hard sometimes, especially as a kid, to be like, yeah, what's going on? She's angry, she's this, like, that's not her. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not her.
At least that was my reaction watching this again, because I felt a little disconnect, which we'll get into a little later, between hers in this episode and the rest of the series as a kid. So also Rapunzel saying computers are cranky when they get woken up. They're just like us. And excellent description. Agreed. Brandi coming in hot for the next one as well. The Ember Island Players. This one, per Paramount Plus, says the kids see a play about themselves and all their past adventures, but they aren't happy with the production. The problem is, immediately, no matter what you do, you could burp and you would still win, because they didn't use proper grammar. They put period, but, instead of comma, but. My mom was a teacher, so I have to do proper grammar.
I start sentences with but all the time.
As long as you don't write it down, you're fine.
Alrighty.
So what do you have in store for us?
I have the Gain attends a play about the Avatar's journey, which shines a light on their shortcomings.
Ooh, shortcomings. I like that. Because it is a very... Yeah, it's a very good way of describing how this goes.
Yeah, like, I mean, we'll obviously get into it, but I think the play just kind of like highlights some of their worst qualities.
Oh, definitely.
Except for Toph. Toph they get.
Oh, Toph kicks butt. Easily. Awesome. Well, with that, we can start with the Southern Raiders, which, speaking of starting, that's a heck of a way to start an episode. I'm about to celebrate
I
becoming an only child. Oh my gosh, it's not 5 minutes in.
the way that this episode starts and the way like every single time that I watch it, I'm always like, Is this a dream?
Yeah.
This is like Zuko's nightmare or something."
Yeah.
And then it's just, no, this is actually happening.
Yeah, it just comes in so hot. It's just like, yeah, we don't have time to set this up. We're almost at the end of the season. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, it works because it successfully throws you off as a viewer.
Mhm.
I always thought as a kid I came into the episode like 10 minutes late,
Yeah.
sort of a thing. So I get it. But also, yeah, this feels like it should be a battle of epic proportions as the climax of an episode.
Or like the whole episode.
Yeah, also the whole episode, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to face Azula first thing in the morning. That's just, it's not gonna end well. And it almost didn't. Like, bro just got lucky. The spirits
He
nudged
sure
one of those
did.
airships underneath him.
He sure did. I couldn't even remember because all I could remember was when they both fall off and
Right.
like, the gang catches him on Appa and then Azula, uses like her little hairpin to just and like what a hairpin, am I right?
Oh my
But I
gosh,
did not
yes.
remember this first time that he falls off and I'm like, "Wait, Appa's all the way over there." Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Same. It's like, that I don't remember. What? How does he get out of this?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that first fall got me. The second fall was like, okay, this one I got.
mhm.
So, and I'm surprised Aang wasn't like, we have to save her. He was just like, nope, let her die. Yip yip.
Well, I don't know. I feel like Aang was more like focused on dodging like more attacks and stuff like that. But
No time to save the princess.
yeah, like they were all just
Or he's like, she'll
and
find a way. She always finds a way.
yeah, and even Zuko's just like, "Oh my gosh, like she's not gonna make it." And like there's this almost like moment of like true sadness.
Mhm.
And then she ends up making it and he's just like,
Yep,
"Of
of
course she
course
did."
she did. Ah, the spite. I love it. Oh, poor Rapunzel lost 5% of your final semester grade in a grad school course for misplaced period. Periods are important. Absolutely. So is signing your name on papers. I got 5 points on my physics exam for signing my name, and I don't think I got a single point other than that. I've brought it up before and I'll bring it up again. That physics class was terrible and the teacher was fired the next day. I don't do physics. Also, Time Prophet is in the chat saying hello, hello. Oh, I didn't realize people. Who are those people?
I
I'll
have
have to
no
look
idea.
them up. Yeah, well, it's just been a crazy news cycle, also. So today's just been a weird one. And Britain Beery's giving me messy. LOL. Don't put that on your screen. Anyway, so yes, we get the physics slander is too much. I mean, I kind of am on the Avatar boat of physics applies when we want it. Like, how?
Reasons.
How?
Reasons. It's
Like,
Azula.
I rock climb, and even using those like in between the crack clamp things, I would not trust my life one-handed. Oh, let's see. Oh, Marcus Aurelius, yes. Eh. Also, hiya. Ian Lavender was in Dad's Army, and Michael Jason was in Bad. Oh, Doctor Who. No. That is the one really nice thing I think longevity wise for Avatar: The Last Airbender is the cast is mostly young. So they'll be going to Comic-Cons for the next 50 years. It'll be great. I mean, Jason Isaacs, yeah, he can probably make it to 120. He's not even 70. No, he'll make it to 100 at least. Another 50 years. Minimum. Minimum. I don't know where I was going with that. I just love Jason Isaacs. But anywho, they survive.
Woohoo! Campfire.
And cheers to Zuko.
Yeah, cheers to Zuko. Except for Katara.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I can't blame her because now they've left their dad behind. We found out what happened to the one dude from the Boiling Rock. He just chills with Hakoda and the kids. I was happy we got resolution with that because I genuinely did not remember. But yeah, she's got a lot on her mind. I feel bad for her. This is kind of like the culmination of a whole ton of stress and more stress in the future, and now this added thing of Zuko. So I now understand why she's acting so moody. Because as a kid, I was just like, girl, grow up. He's cute. Like, it's fine. Forgive and forget. No.
He's cute. Oh, I can't with you sometimes.
Also, look at Aang.
Wow.
Cheers, everyone. Oh, I love this group. I've said it so many times. I love them. Hey, Corey's in the chat. What is up? And Rapunzel says, we had some friends' moms watch Harry Potter for the first time last night. When Hagrid rode in on the motorcycle, they said that this isn't how physics works. We were like, oh no. Yeah. Avatar's fairly faithful to physics. I mean, it's not like SpongeBob where they have fires underwater, so they at least follow those laws.
Yeah, I think the more you think about SpongeBob, the more it falls apart. So
it really does. It's more of a fever dream. A fun one, but a non-physics abiding one. But yeah, so this one I have to get to this one because I am so glad I actually found a decent enough screen grab of it. And it looks like there it is. It actually works. This campfire scene followed immediately by this.
I want to know. I want to hear the conversation in the writers' room for this one.
How did they get away with this? That's what. Because I mean, Nickelodeon's not as bad as Disney when it comes to was it Essen something? It's a department where censorship and something. Like in Gravity Falls, they wouldn't even let them do spin the bottle. Meanwhile, you got Sokka just get that booty up, get the legs up, got the roses, got all the fires lit.
Yeah. Nope.
This scene always cracked me up as a kid, and now I even appreciate it again as an adult. So this episode has longevity.
I think I appreciate the awkwardness of the situation even more, and how Zuko doesn't even bat an eye. Like, he's so lasered in on what he needs to do that he's not even just he's like, yeah, that's just Sokka being Sokka, anywho. Or if he does know, he's just like, okay, just tell me what I want and then I'll leave.
Yeah. See, I will get out of here. It's fine. I saw nothing. I will tell no one.
Yeah.
Which also, like, to go from that as Sokka to being like, I need to know how your mother died. It's like, boy, those rose petals are going real hard down there. Yeah? I'm sorry, what? Oh, because also just this, they pack so much action, humor, and emotion into one episode. This was just an absolute blitz in the writer's room. They're probably just like, crap. Okay, boom.
Boom.
We're gonna make it work. Speed run.
They really did speed run it.
Which also, Rapunzel's comment of, this is a kid's show, also applies to this, because this episode is dark.
It is.
Like, oh my gosh. I need to know. actually, we're gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit because I need to know. When it comes to Katara and Sokka's mom, what was her name again?
Kaya.
Kaya, that was it. She how do you think she died? Because when I'm watching this as a kid, I thought that they just like burned her to a crisp. But I'm like, no, that's not efficient. Not to get dark or anything, but like I'm like,
we're going there.
Yay! This is like the one and only time I will get dark. But like,
well,
is there ever any explanation?
There isn't.
Because now I'm worried for baby Katara, what she walked in on.
I don't know. Like in my brain, I'm like, okay, they did just take her, and like they just didn't find her there. Like she was just gone. And like,
oh, she was just gone?
That's how I and like, but then they would assume that she was just a prisoner.
Right.
Because like Katara doesn't hear we're not taking prisoners. Like she's already like run out to like find your dad.
Plus I feel like the Fire Nation would be like, leave the mess for someone else sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Plus she's also
maybe they all have like hairpins and they all just
I don't know.
That seems to be their MO in the Fire Nation.
Well, in this picture at least, Kai is also wearing the necklace.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so they do find her. So yeah, let's let that thought haunt us for the rest of the night. Time Prof is also right. The younger they are, the rounder the eyes. It shows innocence. Yeah. Also, just look at that cool, unwavering confidence. Like, she's just like, I will be strong for my daughter. Go find your dad. Everything will be fine. It's like, good on her. Good on her. I've seen her for literally less than a minute of screen time, and I love her character. So, but that's thinking of that and coming back to Zuko talking with Sokka. That's got to be incredibly hard. And to talk about it in a kid's show, it's even like, whew, you guys are towing a very fine line and you're making it work, actually.
Well, that and like, oh man, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on.
Bless you. I jinxed it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I gave it sufficient time. It might come back. Thoughts are thoughts.
Rapunzel says, could the Fire Nation officer have left the necklace as a reminder? That is a possibility. It's not a foolproof description, but
I don't know. That would that would imply that he knows something about their culture.
Oh yeah. He probably wouldn't care unless it like accidentally fell off when they're like dragging her out of there. If it was more of a, if it was a scientifically and technologically advanced culture, they might have done like an autopsy to be like, metachlorines, yes, she's a waterbender. And I knew you would appreciate that. But yes, I think they just left something. That way
or what if Kaya took it off and left it? As she was like being taken away.
So we're potentially opening up an option where she isn't dead. And
no, because I think I think we're opening up an option where she doesn't die inside of the hut or igloo or whatever, or the tent.
Oh.
Like, maybe they took her and then, because like, to like say the line, Kaya says, you can take me as your prisoner. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, we're not taking prisoners today.
Yeah.
So
That pretty much
like
locks
it
it.
feels absolute. And I also think that if like I don't know, like she almost has to be there because then like everyone the Southern Water Tribe knows that they're taken as prisoners, right?
Right.
And Hakoda is the type of guy to be like, "Oh, you just took my wife? Well, I'm gonna track her down." So something
Right.
like there has to be enough evidence for Hakoda to know that she's
Yeah.
gone and can't be saved.
Hmm. Definitely. Because that man would not stop.
No, he would not.
No.
He would be
Also,
like,
time.
"Children, stay with your grand. I gotta go."
Yep. Gonna go knock some heads. Let's go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bato's just like,
yes.
"Wait for me."
Yeah, I'm right behind you, Dad. Also, yes, Rapunzel says there's so many possibilities. My mind is boggled. That's why I was like, we have to jump ahead for a bit because I need to talk about this because I've been waiting all week to discuss it. Like after our last stream, I was like, my memory's a little foggy about some of this, so I'm gonna watch this, and I was just like, gosh dang, now I have to wait a week for this. But also, I appreciate Zuko being the sweet little cinnamon bun that he is, staying up all night, not wanting to wake her up. Doesn't care if he wakes up Sokka.
Oh, no.
Katara needs her sleep.
Yeah.
So,
Well, also,
but
like, given their last conversation, he's probably like, "She needs to, like, cool down."
yeah. Well, and their last conversation too, I feel like just wait, where'd it go? I have a screen grab for it. He handles it very calmly.
Mhm.
Which throughout the series, Zuko is not known for being calm. But he can sort of reflect and see the trauma and the anger that she's facing from himself. And so
Mhm.
it does show really good character growth in that he's not yelling back at her. He's going to go find a way to resolve this. Like, look at him being grown up.
Well, I think there's that, but also his, like, understanding of what it's like to lose a mother
Mm-hmm.
and, like, feeling that
Yeah.
anger and just being able to recognize it and be like, "Okay, when I was like this, like, I just needed space, so maybe that's what she needs." Or even just recognizing that the more he talks, the worse it gets.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah. That is a key thing that I have learned in life is when to just shut up. I don't do it, but I do know when I probably should. Uh, and on the same point of being tied with the mother's story, Katara only says like they took my mother away from me, and so I feel like maybe a part of Zuko's like, okay, well we got their dad back. Maybe I can go and get their mom back too.
Mm,
And like, he's trying to make things better, and he just kind of finds out,
he
well,
can't.
can't save her, but boy, you want to go and just beat some people because
Yeah.
I am all for that. So
Yeah,
we
there
get
you
our Zuko and Katara adventure at last, which everyone except for Toph's getting this really fun adventure, but oh well.
Toph doesn't need one.
Yeah, Toph is fine on her own. But ooh, there we go. If Zuko isn't immune to the effect of fire, don't you think there would be a lot of Fire Nation people with burns and scars? Eh, I don't think they'd turn on their own as much. Although I am surprised we don't see more people in our stories with scars. That's just my observation. um, there. Oh, we're gonna go on a little sidetrack
Ooh.
within the episode. It's not that big of a sidetrack, but we see how Sokka is playing up for Suki, and just well, hello. But also there's this little tiny
I
corner.
know.
I We have gone from him on Kyoshi Island being like, "Oh, girl warriors," blah, to him just making a flower crown.
Mhm.
And I like to think he picked it up from the secret tunnel people.
Is it a crown or is it a necklace?
Oh, it's probably one or the two. Whatever it is, it's
'Cause I just
cute.
think, like, back in season 1, when Katara loses her mother's necklace. Aang, like, weaves her a necklace.
Yeah.
And so Sokka's just like, I don't know, Katara kind of liked it, so maybe Suki will
Yeah.
like it.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
He probably went out after that. He was like, okay, I found a bunch of roses. Now I'm going to find a bunch of peonies and we're going to just boop, 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 boop. Arts and crafts time with Sokka. Wholesome. But yes, it goes from such a sweet, wholesome thing to, you know what? Let's go find this guy.
Yeah.
And
Oh man.
full
I'm
on
gonna sneeze
vigilante
again.
mode.
Hold on.
Again,
I'll be
I think
back.
this is the one in the chamber you had. Oh no. Let's see. Yep, but children playing with fire, never a good combination. True. And Rapunzel saying Zuko didn't just get burned, he got an intense sustained fire blast. True. So they might have some sort of buildup of, you know, non-fieriness, fire resistance, perhaps, in their flesh, but yeah, true. Zuko's is a pretty intense one. But yes, also this episode, we're going to talk more about it after Brandi sneezes. But I love. Oh, there she is. Hi, Brandi.
You know, I
Happy
haven't
sneezing.
had a yeah. I haven't had a cold yet, and I feel like my time is coming.
Oh no. Drink some tea. That'd be
Yeah.
Iroh's advice. Well, you didn't miss much. I actually was just about to start talking about how I love even in low light, they still manage to show detail. Because that's not what shows do anymore. They just let you look at a dark screen. I mean, in animation is probably a little bit easier to get the lighting the way that you want it, but they at least justify it being lighter because it's only a mostly cloudy sky. There are some breaks in the clouds, so meteorologically, it's also sound.
They also sound like ugh, what was I? See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I'm coming down with something. They also show
no.
that there's a full moon.
Oh yes, important details.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering going into this episode, I was like, I know she bloodbends, but I don't remember if it's like she can just do that now.
No,
Rapunzel's.
so like
Oh, go
when
ahead.
they first take off, like there's like you know, because they often show Appa like a backlit against the moon and there's a full moon. And so I feel like that is like just a little bit of a foreshadow to be like, okay, bloodbending
Yes.
on the table.
Oh yeah, they're like, you know what? We're gonna unlock all those abilities. And also Rapunzel saying we played with fire as children every time we were unsupervised. It's a wonder any of us survived. Yes, and I can confirm because I wanted to be on Survivor super bad as a kid. Nowadays, it's kind of lost its luster as a show. It's all scripted. But yeah, I used to make fires for the neighborhood kids with Flint in our driveway, full view. No one ever stopped me. Yes, and there's practically always a full moon in this show. Yeah, Yue just has good timing.
Yeah, she does. She's always there. She just wants to hang out with her friends. That's all.
Exactly. She's like, well, Suki's in the picture now. I have to make sure that she's good enough for my man. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, after this, I feel like this episode gets really intense, really fast, and the whole way that they take over an entire ship, just basically with Katara, because Zuko's not really doing much.
Yeah, he's just kind of blocking fire here and there.
Yeah, if Katara, if they hadn't found Aang, and she'd just like become a fire or a waterbending master on her own, I think she could probably have a pretty good shot at dismantling a decent chunk of the Fire Nation. One woman machine. Zuko actually I love the shot. It's just for a fleeting moment when she is bloodbending the guy, and Zuko's just like,
he's doing that. Excuse me?
I didn't know she could do that.
But he also plays it cool. Like, he's just like, all right, this is happening. Tell us what you know.
Exactly. It's like, you better answer. Tell me you don't recognize her face. This poor guy, he's going to be traumatized. She came out of nowhere. They were telling me what's her face. I can imagine that report to the superiors. We lost half the crew of the ocean. But yeah, the fact that she's like, this isn't the man. Like, after all of that, you bloodbent and did all of this, and you're still like not any closer. I appreciate the second of her just being like, gosh dang it. Because that's got to be pulling back memories from what Hama did.
Mm-hmm.
So even just a little look.
I think this is also kind of more so like he wasn't the man, so he didn't deserve it. Like,
yeah.
Like, she got so wrapped up in the moment and, just kind of like accepted that this was going to be the guy. And so when it wasn't, she was like, I think that this moment is actually really important because I think it gives her a lot to think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like this moment gives her a second chance later on. Like, if this was the guy, I think she was in a state of mind where the right choices would have been more hard to make.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's a very good observation, by the way. I did not think of that. What was I going to say? I was too in awe of that observation. No, because that was it. With the bloodbending. This kind of, I don't know if Katara would have thought of it necessarily, but she could easily stop his heart and stop all vascular function in the body. So we now have the airbenders who can just like suck the life out of you. We have the waterbenders who, with a certain subsect, can stop your heart. That leaves earth and fire a little bit less
I think like, I feel like we've had a conversation where we're like, is bone bending a thing?
Oh gosh, because the minerals. Yeah. Oh
yeah.
Oh snap! So yeah, the Fire Nation actually is understandable for wanting to take out everyone else.
The Fire Nation is actually the least.
That's the sign of maturity as an adult, as you realize, oh wow, no. Okay, yeah.
Oh no!
Yikes!
Oh, look at all those periods.
Yeah. Yes, glorious periods. This is a kid's show. It is, and it somehow manages to get a little darker. Yeah, because then we finally learn, well, what actually happened to her mom. And we learn about that there's the guy who squeals. He's like, oh, yeah, he retired a while ago, blah, 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 blah. And the confrontation that we finally get between them is just, oh my gosh, the beauty of it. Like, this whole scene, she was lying, she was protecting the last waterbender who, me, the delivery, the voice acting is just, that one stands out.
I think that this is also like such an interesting like testament to her like growth as a waterbender, because I think it's in season 1, the fortune teller, when it starts to rain and she kind of like makes like a shield for herself, and like that's like where she started, and then here she is literally stopping the rain here. And it's just like, oh no. And she's only 14.
Yes, and that's kind of the look that Zuko gives. Like, again, he takes off the face mask. He's just like, whoa. Like, I can only imagine Zuko's like change of mindset of Katara as a fighter in this episode, because he's battled her before, but now he looks at her. He's like, she could have killed me anytime she wanted.
Yeah. I never thought of that, like with the blood bending. Like when he see, like, he didn't know that she could do that. So back in like the air temple where she's like, if you struggle to do the right thing, then, I'll just end you permanently right then and there. Like, if it was a full moon, Zuko wouldn't have stood a chance.
Oh gosh, no. Yeah. Which also, timing-wise, when Zuko reveals himself to the gang, if it had been a full moon, do you think she would have just been full on, stop right there?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I feel like she would have had more like that reaction of just, nope. She would actually spin him around and make him walk away. Rapunzel says Zuko should just bow down to Katara right now. Depending on the fan art you look at, he does. Mae Whitman, who plays Katara, is both in Family Guy and American Dad. I did not realize that. She's nice. She liked my turtle duck art when I got to meet her, so yeah. Now I just need Toph. Then we'll have
you'll get there.
everyone. Yeah. Hooray. And if I ever meet Mark Hamill, everyone else will be getting Star Wars stuff signed. I'll just show up with turtle ducks. I'll be like,
heck
Fire
yeah.
Lord, please sign.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this confrontation and the reveal of we aren't taking prisoners today and what happened after Katara left the room. I will pull up this comment again. This is a kid's show.
I know.
How did this pass the censors?
I think the writers knew exactly where the line was and knew exactly how close they could get on some things.
Oh yeah. It's like the child when you're like, don't touch that. And they're like, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. Oh boy. This
I
wrecked
really
me.
like hopefully this doesn't come off weird, but I really like the design of the Southern Raiders helmets.
Okay, yes, because I do too. Let me find it. I am glad you brought that up because I found their art page in that Art of Avatar book. And I do love the hawkiness. Is that
Sure.
I guess a phrase? Because it looks like the hawks, the messenger hawks. And it just really kick butt. They have cleats, which details if you're going to be operating in the South with the ice, you're going to want to have cleats and ice picks. So it's like details. But yeah, this is a slick uniform. I wish more people would cosplay it, actually. You know what isn't
I
slick,
kind of
though?
just wish that we saw them more in the series. Like,
Yeah.
this is just a one-off time that we see them, and I'm like, I would like to know more.
You wasted an entire amazing design on just one episode? And not even the entire episode. Oh, that'd have been awesome. One thing, though, I have a pet peeve with. This guy's stupid face. I hate his face so much.
Oh, wow. When that wasn't zoomed in, I thought it was a mustache.
Oh, really? Oh.
And I was like, yeah, that's a mustache. And I was like, oh, no.
He just has wrinkles.
He reminds me of, like, the face structure that the Warden has in the Boiling Rock.
That was a little theory that I came up with while watching this, was that they're actually brothers. And they just got different, like, different tasks.
You mean to tell me that woman is May's grandmother?
Wait, what?
The Warden is May's uncle. So if this guy and the Warden are brothers, then this guy's mom is May's grandmother.
Well, yeah, yes.
And he gets the short stick of staying with the mother?
Yeah.
I guess if he's the oldest one and he retires, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know anymore.
I also just really love how quick he is to just be like, oh, I killed your mother, you killed mine.
That is so, oh gosh, that line. I'm sitting here watching like, they put this in the show. Of all the things in this episode, like that's the most, you said what? For me?
Yeah.
Oh, and I think that does, as humorous as it is, I think it does lead to Katara being a little bit more like, "Okay, yeah, no, we're just gonna
Yeah,
walk
he's
away."
not even worth it. Like, he's just a
Yeah.
piece of scum.
Yep. He's a platypus bear poop. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Which, I mean, oh, it's a low resolution shot. Oh, well. But I think it's enough that he knows she's out there, and if she changes her mind, he will be dead in a second.
Mhm.
So making him live the rest of his life in fear seems pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do find out that Katara takes Aang's advice in a way um of, listen, don't let anger and rage and violence take over. Forgive him. She's like, I don't forgive him. And
Yeah.
that's something that I think is understandable in life. Cause do you remember Valpo? Do you remember Eva Kor? She was the Holocaust survivor,
Oh, yeah.
who came to campus. So I had the chance to talk with her a little bit more because I interviewed her for a piece or something, and she was talking about. She was like, "Oh, forgiveness and writing these letters are so important." I was like, "Well, that's impressive because I don't think I could do that with my high school bully."
Mhm.
Like, that's really impressive. She's like, "I recommend you write a letter and you get it all out, and then you don't have to send the letter, just write the letter." And that kind of stuck with me of Katara kind of chose to write the letter and not send it. She found peace, but she's not giving that man peace.
Mhm.
And so that parallel, now that I have context in my life that can relate to it, it's like, wow. I think
Yeah.
Katara actually made the right choice here.
It reminds me of this line from I think it was this last season of The Bad Batch. So I don't know if anybody watches it. I hope I get it right, but Echo says something along the lines of, "I understand you. It doesn't mean I have to forgive you."
Mhm.
And I think that like, that line just sticks out with me so much and was like, "Wow,
Mhm.
that is powerful." And again, The Bad Batch is a show for kids.
Ooh.
Like, it's just a Star Wars show. Um,
I
but
swear, these shows, the
yeah.
censors have just let them run a little bit more to more, like, serious and less, I'm a kid, haha," places. Like,
Mhm.
they're actually letting them get depth. Great example of that, speaking of Rapunzel, is Tangled, the series on Disney. Um, there's a song called "I'm Ready" and "Nothing Left to Lose," and they should have won Grammys. They are beautiful and tortured and all this stuff. I'm like, "And this is on Disney Channel at 3:30 in the afternoon." So, Disney, thank you for giving your characters some depth. Uh, oh, actually, in the 60s and 70s, kids shows were actually much darker. Ah, yes, the dark 60s and 70s. Then we got to the 90s and we're like, Transformers, go, go, Power Rangers. There's a Tangled series. Oh, Rapunzel. Yes, there is. And
There is.
it's amazing. Um, it's actually really, really good. 10 out of 10 recommend. I
Mhm.
mean, I haven't interviewed 10 people, but 1 out of 10 at least recommends. But yes, we get the ending of this and we get to see Katara forgive Zuko. She gives forgiveness to someone who actually deserves it.
Mhm.
And also finally we get that resolution so they can go ahead and not be sassy as their main relationship style for the rest of the series, which is a bit of a relief for me because I was like, I remember being as a kid annoyed with it. Like, come on, just let him in. He's helping you.
Well, that is like everyone else in the group has kind of accepted him.
Mhm,
Like, Toph is able to just kind of look at the big picture and be like, okay, we
mhm,
kind of need him. Like,
mhm.
maybe he's not the best guy, kind of like a necessary evil.
Yeah,
And even though I don't really necessarily think that he's evil, like I think that whole
right.
conversation that she has with Iroh just
Mhm,
she just sees and understands Zuko in a completely different way than the others do.
mhm.
And then, you know, Aang even in season 1 was like, maybe if things were different, we could have been friends. Like,
Mm,
he always just kinda had that mentality. And then I think Sokka, everything that happens in the Boiling Rock, like, he just understands how much Zuko was willing to give
mhm,
and kinda, has that all or nothing mentality, and so
mhm.
Sokka's just kind of, like, got to see firsthand, like, the kind of man that Zuko really is, not just,
Yeah.
"Oh, I can chase you around the fire."
Yeah, exactly.
And so, you know and she even says it in the beginning, like, "I trusted you back in Ba Sing Se, and
Mhm,
you betrayed that trust. Like, I was willing to do that back then, and you threw it away, and now you don't get another
mm,
chance." And so, this whole thing was just so much, and that anger that she had with her mother and everything, like you said, like, she released it, and then when she did, she realized that it wasn't Zuko that she was angry at.
mhm, mhm. Definitely, and it's a good lesson for kids to have too. It is a kids show, and it can help them find ways through complex emotions that they didn't even know they had, or that are very difficult conversations to have.
Mhm.
And if you see characters that you really like, and you follow their journeys, and you see them doing this, it does help you process things differently than if it had been a conversation in real life, which is the power of TV. Everyone, that's why you should do it well. That's a little threat.
A
Netflix.
little
Little
threat. I think
threat.
it's a little too late for threats, like, it's
It really
already
is.
edited, like, they're
Maybe for
just
season 2? I a little nervous. We'll see. But
Mhm.
yes, I think that covers it for the episode. Other than Zuko saying the like Von's never the answer. She's like, "Well, then what are you gonna do when you face my father?"
What a way to end an episode. Well, because
Hoo-wee.
yeah, like, Aang from the very beginning in this whole episode has just been like, "Hey, like, forgiveness is more important, and, you
Mhm,
shouldn't seek out revenge," and everything like that. And so you're just like, "Of course, like, that's the way that Aang thinks."
mhm.
And then, like, you're just so focused on Katara, and it's just such a quick pivot point where you're like, "Oh my
Oh,
gosh, yeah, we are
no.
coming up to the end." Like, what is Aang going to do?
Because we've been talking about stopping the Fire Lord for ever in this series, and you're just like, "Wait a
What does that
second.
look like?
Yeah,
What does that look
what does
like?
stop mean? Like, stop
Yeah.
breathing? Stop moving?" How intense are they gonna make this? Yeah, so a nice little foreshadow of what's to come,
Mhm.
um, which is funny because they go immediately to Ember Island Players, which is not really focused on that, entirely until we get to the end.
Yeah, but we needed a filler. Like, we've
Yeah.
gone back to back between just hit after hit.
Yeah! Just boom, here's your dad.
We needed a
Boom,
minute.
your mom. Boom.
There is, like,
So
this one line in the beginning when Aang is talking, like, trying to, like, talk her out of going, and
mhm,
even Sokka says something like, "She was my mom too," and
mhm,
Katara just says, "Well, I guess you didn't love her the way that I did." And his only
mhm,
response is like, "Katara? Like,
mhm.
like, the hurt on
Mm,
Sokka's face, and, like, he can't bring himself to say literally anything.
yeah.
And, like,
Oh.
yeah, like, Katara and Sokka, they bicker and everything like that, but there's always, like, a sense of lightheartedness, and this one just
Mhm.
cuts him to his core.
Yep. It's way
Because
too deep.
yeah, and then, like, if you think back to the conversation that he has with Toph in the Blind Bandit, where he's like, "I can't even
Mhm,
remember my mother's face," and,
mhm,
like, my when I think of my mom, like, it's almost kind of guitar at this point, and
mhm.
it's just like,
Ugh,
so, like,
Sokka doesn't
if
deserve that.
she's willing to cut her own brother that deep, she's in a dark
Mhm.
place.
Very. And
Mhm.
you see that too in the lighting choices that they have in the shot itself. Aang is in the light more than the dark. Sokka and Katara are more in the shadows. And I like to think that that wasn't just a coincidence because of how they staged them in the scene, but it also could just be that. Shows the darkness that follows them around from that. We'll do a core analysis. Just call it that. But yeah, I think that's most everything else in the episode.
I think so, yeah.
Sweet. Onto the theories.
Onto the theories. Okay, here's a quick one. We see in the flashback of when Sokka's telling it that he like picks up a boomerang and then like chucks it. He gets his boomerang on the day that his mom dies. So the boomerang is the same thing to him as Katara's necklace.
Oh.
If that's the same boomerang, which I'm choosing to believe.
Oh, absolutely. That has to be.
Like whoever's boomerang that was, it's now Sokka's. Like they're just like, just keep it, kid.
Yeah. I 100% accept that. No hesitation.
Yeah. Oh.
And also like the fact that he threw it at the Fire Nation to get them to go away. It's like he carries that around like, next time I'm gonna actually hit a head. I'm gonna make it count. And then he has it when Zuko shows up in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he actually hits Zuko with the back of the head of this. It's like, full circle.
Full circle. So
I didn't even realize I made a joke.
But and then I was really starting to think, because we've theorized that like the raids happen because Hana, who invents bloodbending, like escapes, and so maybe they're possibly looking for her and stuff like that. But then I started thinking, and I was like, oh, what if the reason why they're not taking any prisoners is because Ozai is actually Fire Lord now, but the math doesn't work out on that one.
Right.
Yeah, because Katara is 8, which makes, well,
maybe right around that time? We're mathing on a Monday night, Brandi. This is
I know.
So you're saying
hold on.
Azulon took them as prisoners, and Ozai just doesn't want to bother.
Yeah.
Okay. That tracks for his personality. Because if she's 8, Zuko would have been 10? 11?
I don't know. Hold on.
Time Prophet says my memory is terrible. Yeah. So is mine. So is my math. This is the core analysis. I know. That's perfect. Yeah, because Ozai would probably just moving on from the Avatar, just be like, let's go kill the rest of the nations. Why not?
Yeah, because I think Ozai's like, okay, well, this is costing you way too much money. We should just really just give it. Like, it's such an Ozai thing to do.
Let's just get to the end of it.
Maybe the math does work. I don't know. I thought I don't think I wrote it down as a problem, because I was like, oh, it doesn't work. No. But now I'm like, oh man.
Maybe
it does, because like if Katara's 8, then that makes Zuko 10, and he gets banished when he's 13.
And that,
how long? Okay, here we go. I just keep on like rephrasing my Google search.
Rapunzel says, why are we attempting to math? I thought we already learned our lesson about that. We learned our lesson about physics, not math.
Yeah. Ozai's reign of 6 years. So 6 years. Oh my gosh, I think the maths.
Oh.
I think the math. If he was okay. Katara's 8 when her mom dies, and she's 14 by the end of the 14, almost 15. Well, she's 14 at the beginning of the series, And 8 plus 6, I think, is 14.
It is. I can confirm that with my almost math finder.
I think the only reason why they don't take prisoners is because Ozai is now Fire Lord.
I could see that, although I could also see the last Southern waterbender that they took wrecked them.
Yeah,
So,
but, like,
one of
I
the
think
2
that has
or
been, like, a
combination.
popular theory, but Hama the raids start, like, 60 years ago. Almost 60 years ago. And then
Right.
Hama says that it takes her decades to break out.
Odds are there'd be a bender born in that time, right? So,
Yeah.
you know what?
So,
I'll take your theory.
none. Yeah. It's just a theory. It's just a theory. Um, of course, then, like, we could really start getting into the theory of, like, okay, how do they know that there was a waterbender? Like, a last waterbender?
Yes.
And so now this one's crazy, so sit back.
All
What
right.
if what if they obviously don't know how old a waterbender is. They just know
Right.
that someone's a waterbender.
Uh-huh.
W And we don't know when Katara learns that she's a waterbender. So,
Oh, okay.
maybe Katara at this point maybe they don't even know that Katara is a waterbender yet, and Kaya is protecting someone else, and that someone else is Gran Gran.
What?
I told you, it's gonna be crazy.
What?
It's gonna be crazy. So, let's think about it. We're gonna think about the timeline again.
I'm like piecing together a timeline on my wall here.
We know. We know. We learned that in season 1 that Paku and Gran Gran were arranged to be married. And when
Right.
Paku finds the necklace, he says, "I made this over 60 years ago." Or 60 years
Right.
ago, I think he says. I don't know. Wording is wording. Nonetheless, the raids start almost 60 years ago. So by the time
Um,
Gran Gran gets to the Southern Water Tribe, the raids are already happening. And so she
oh.
hides that she's a waterbender. So much so doesn't
Hmm.
tell anyone, and maybe only the family knows. So that could have got out when maybe another waterbender who had been taken all those years ago finally were like, "You missed one." And it was just rumored on who it was because Katara kind of theorizes that the reason Gran Gran leaves is because she doesn't like the Northern Water Tribes custom of, women can't learn fighting.
Yeah.
Maybe
Why
she
would she like that?
exactly. Plus, we know
Mm.
that Haku really loved Gran Gran because when he
Yeah.
gets to the south, they're already married.
Yeah,
Like,
they get hitched.
they're already married. Yeah, so it's like if Gran Gran didn't love the guy,
Oh.
she just spent 60 years being like, yeah, I just didn't want to get married to him. So, he shows up and then like what? She's just like, wow, you're just a thorn in my side. No, she's like, well, of
Yeah.
course I'll marry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Oh.
what if she was a waterbender and was simply hiding it because by the
Mm.
time she gets to the south, the raids are already just terrible. And she can't even
A
she never tells Katara because
yeah. Well, genetically, it would make sense if there was a bender in the family and it just like skipped a generation with Kaya.
yeah.
And also, possibly the way that they find out that there's a bender there actually has to do with Suki alone. Because I finally read it. It
Oh.
took me 15 minutes, so I was kind of like, why did I put off reading this? So, oh well. But I read it this weekend, and like spoiler alert ish. I'll wave when you can come back if you don't want a spoiler. But there's a girl who like betrays Suki just to cover her own hide and improve her own situation. And
Mhm.
so maybe someone in the Northern Water Tribe gets captured at last or something, and wants to make their situation a little bit better. Or they just break under torture, who knows? Like, they've probably been in prison for a
Yeah.
long time at that point. And just goes, "Fine, I'll give you information. There was a bender. She left for the Southern Water Tribe." And that, boom,
Yeah.
solidifies it. Okay, I'll
I don't
take
know.
that.
Crazy theory. I don't
That's
know
a
if it
good
works
theory.
entirely.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
I'll take it. Also, yes, time profit on that point. If the Fire Nation was after waterbenders, why didn't they just pretend they weren't waterbenders? I think she probably did. So, all right. Any other theories?
Not for this episode.
All right. Ooh. Foreshadowing for Ember Island Players. We do have some fan art and some cosplays, which I appreciate. Mainly because this cosplay is actually attainable. It's nice little black garbs and some hair loopies, and boom, you got undercover Katara and Zuko. Which, good job with that scar.
It is.
It's not an Ember Island Player scar where you just slap it on. But yeah, Boketo.com had it. So yeah, I like that. I would also totally recognize if it was at a con, even though it's very simple. So good on them. Another one. Oh, it's Lolo. I didn't realize there was a cat in here. Oh, we're watching my brother's cats, so I was a little worried for a second. What just touched me? Back to the fan art. I really love this shot. I love the little rainbows coming out of each of the droplets. It's just, oh, it's so fierce and so cool. And just very beautiful with the hair. Hair is hard to do. So for Elartris, think that's you. Great job. I appreciate and I want to print. And then there's this one, which is as far as I'll get into the Zutara theories as possible, because it actually came from a Zutara fanfic, I think. But I just like the idea that they get back to Appa and he's like, "Hey, hold on a second. Are you okay?" And she just kind of collapses, just like, and they have a real heart-to-heart moment. And so this adds a really nice context. And I think it could be one of those filler scenes that got cut. That's my theory.
Yeah. So. Well, and like he takes her back to Ember Island and then just like gives her space to be alone while he goes and gets everyone else. He doesn't like try to take her back to the camp or anything like that. Like he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna put you here, and then I'm gonna go get everyone and tell everyone what happened."
Exactly.
So that you don't have to talk about it.
Yes.
And, let me go get Aang and your brother.
Yep. He's like, "I'm going to send those to you. I'm going to go talk to Toph and over to Suki, and you breathe." Because we've seen it before when he's, what is the name of the episode? We just talked about it. When he first shows up at the Air Temple and he's having those flashbacks to him and Iroh. And you can see like, he just kind of needs space, and he said he needs time to think in this. And so he's been there and he can recognize the signs of, okay, I'm just gonna let you do you. And yeah, I just thought that was a very tender fan art, and I appreciate the heck out of it. From what was it? Zam Purple. Nice. Thank you for that and for keeping it PG. Because I did not find a lot of those, and I needed to clear my browser history after looking up the fan art for this episode. But that ends it for the Southern Raiders, and it opens the door wide open for the Ember Island Players.
Well, here we go.
Oh my gosh, this episode. As a kid, I was like, okay, yeah, it's just another episode. And now I'm just like, okay, no, this is one of my favorites. Easily. Because of you mentioned it before, how it points out the little flaws or hyper exaggerates some of their traits. And it's so beautifully written. Oh, and Marcus Aurelius says, halftime question. Did you know that Order of the Blue Lotus is an anagram for Sloth Drool Future Beer? Coincidence?
No, it's not. We were fully, it was planned.
Oh,
you It took nearly 3 years for someone to break that.
He's just too smart for us, Brandi.
Oh, I know. I know.
That is fantastic, Marcus Aurelius. And Time Prophet says, if you like Avatar, you will definitely like the animated series Skyland. It has 26 episodes and it's really good. I'll have to check that out. My Brandi, actually, I think you would be really good on this show. My friend Ryan T. Husk and Dr. Muhammad Noor, they do a show called Watch the First, where they watch the first episode of a series and they determine if they like it or not. And it's a really fun show. So that I feel like that could be a Watch the First Skyland. So go over to the Seventh Rule, Time Prophet, and pop that in there. You might see your request taken. Little shameless plug for Ryan. Let's see. Ember Island Players. That was it. I was like looking to load up the file that has all the photos in it. I was like, where'd they go? Where is it? We're fine. I found them. We're good. And yes, Ember Island Players. I'd never noticed this detail before. Is that the playwright?
That's the playwright. That's like who on Tim.
I was just like, who the heck is that? We never met that person.
No, that's the playwright.
I wonder if that's one of if it's based off of anyone. Because it kind of looks like if my grandpa were from Asia instead of Greece. Like they have the same mustache.
The playwright is based off of one of the writers for the show. And they make it kind of look like him, but they also make him look like someone, like an actual, I mean, obviously the writer is a real person, but someone else. And so, but like, yeah, the head writer, or maybe it's not the head writer, but the writer's name is Tim. And so yeah, so the guy's kind of named after him. Kind of looks like him.
Nice. I enjoy when they have those little behind the scenes tidbits. Yeah. It's so cool. But yeah, we get to see a fun-ish romp for the gang going to the theater.
They needed a break.
They did. I mean, we open the episode, they're working hard. They're fire blasting away. And just love how Sokka comes in. He's like, they made a play about us. Not thinking, oh, this could be bad.
No. He's just like, this is the fun, wacky stuff I've been missing.
Yes. And apparently the Netflix show will be missing. They better not cut Ember Island. If they get a season 3, they better not cut Ember Island Players. Which actually ties into a meme I found. But there's the main overall story of Ember Island Players that everyone remembers. And then I completely forgot that we got an Aang and Katara kiss in this episode. I forgot there was so much angst between them. And now you have Zuko in the mix.
And Aang doesn't know what all happened last episode. He doesn't know. All he knows is that now Zuko's sitting by his girl. And when he said he wanted to sit by Katara, Zuko just said, well, you can sit by me.
That's such a block right there.
Yeah.
Do you think that's Zuko just not picking up on social cues because he's not really been around a group of teenagers who are hormonal and instead he's been around Uncle Iroh?
Well, like that, and even just maybe it's kind of just in this moment, he's kind of getting this moment where Aang's like, oh, I kind of wanted to sit by Katara, and all he can think about is just being bossed around by Azula. And so he's like, you know what? No, I'm gonna
new group, new me.
Yeah. He's like, no. I'm already sitting here.
Yep. Yeah, it's a poor little Aang. He's just like, okay. And Katara's just like, what is going on with you two? Yeah. So, and Toph's none the wiser. She's just like, I want to see this play, but
yeah, she's like, why are we in the nosebleed
section? Which does show that she has a limit to her range.
Well, I think the building is probably built out of wood. It's not all stone.
Oh, you're right. It's like sand mutes the visuals. Good point. Oh, Rapunzel saying we need soft drool fan art now. If anyone can do that, Rapunzel, it's you. Or Brandi. Brandi, you got a little AI bot who seems to be with it-ish.
Oh, don't even get me started on that stuff.
Do we ever show that? Because we should dive into that. The AI art. Oh boy, let me see. Where do we even want to begin? Let's just talk about the characters that they bring in for this, because this is just
I'm so glad that they had the bear with the Earth King because I wanted to talk
yes!
about that moment. This is fantastic.
Of all the costumes, that one's probably my favorite. They literally took that little alien carrying a human inflatable Halloween costume and were just
Oh
like,
my gosh, I want an
we can make this
inflatable of
work.
this now.
Dude, imagine doing a cosplay of it. You could so do a cosplay of that. Oh my gosh. That and then Boomy. Just oh my gosh. They're all just so magnificent.
They truly are.
Like they brought in a caricature artist and were like, "Hey, make these."
Do your worst.
It's just the puppet.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. This I love this as much as I love the show itself. And you know what's also great? They aren't just like showing the skinny gals. It's like, you know what? She can have thighs. She can have thighs. She can wear whatever those shoes are. But it's like, you know what? It's representation and I appreciate it. And Rapunzel's like, aren't you glad you got the art book now? I haven't gotten it yet. I've stolen the pages from online. I'm gonna get it though. I'm gonna get it. 100%. It's actually at my Barnes
That's
and
the
Noble. And I'm
gift
pretty
that
sure
we
it's
give each other when we finish the series. Like
there
we
we
finally did
go.
it.
We got each other a book. That would work. Gasp! Clutch those pearls, girl. Oh, but yes. So, oh, we get to see all this fun stuff in the episode, and I appreciate the heck out of the acting that goes on in this and the screenplay. How it's like, you know what? We're just gonna go over the Great Divide.
Yeah. Let's just keep on flying.
Oh no. Oh shucks. You wanna know what sucks, Brandy?
Hmm.
I was looking at your face and your face disappeared, which means I'm getting a migraine aura.
Oh no. Do you want to pick this up later?
I think we might need to pick this up later. What are you doing Wednesday?
Nothing. I don't think so.
Okay.
So,
My body told us that it's time to quit.
my body said, whoa. We're not doing a double episode if we don't have to. And we don't have to.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, Wednesday it is.
Wednesday it is.
Sorry, guys. No, I was looking, I'm just like, what? So yeah, let's hope I can find the end stream button. We're good. Hasn't gotten too big. For anyone who doesn't know, I get migraine auras, which means I basically go half blind and I get excruciating migraines. So I'm gonna grab some Advil and I'm gonna go to bed.
Sounds wonderful.
Brandy, you should probably go to bed too.
Yes,
Thank you.
Before we sign off, happy
Yes.
National Weather Person Day.
Oh, thank you, Brandy. I appreciate it. You're the best. Oh, now I just need a National Brandy Day, and boom. We'll be
I
celebrating
believe that's
that
my
too.
birthday, but
There you go. Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, sorry for the abrupt end. We'll see you Wednesday. Bye.